40-incher in as my screen for my TV. So we got game day today. Texans play the Patriots. We're gonna do a little recap of last week. You know, it's a beautiful week in football and fantasy. I just want to let everybody know that things are going a little bit better than I anticipated. You know, with me drafting Le'Veon Bell with my first pick, I can't believe I'm sitting at 1-1. But you know, I digress. Let's go and just see how my picks were last week. Let's see what transpired, so to speak. So week 2, you know, there was probably a little more competition in week 2 than in week 1. So let's start off with yours truly versus the new guy. A storm is brewing. So, you know, it was a pretty tough matchup. I mean, my main thing is I had a guy with a 40 burger on the bench, Tyrod Taylor, whom I dropped this week. Said, fuck that. They have a new offensive coordinator. There's no telling what that's going to look like. I might as well just pick up another quarterback that's playing the Browns and see how that goes, especially since Devontae Parker showed his hindquarters against New England. I know that they're going to want to win, and Devontae Parker is going to be a huge part of that. Thinking about starting him, we'll see how that goes. But I was incorrect, along with 4 other you motherfuckers thinking that I was going to lose. So, it's okay. It's okay. I'm 0-1 for week 1 because I just got all up in that storm and said, fuck Dorothy. Fuck Dorothy and Kansas. Moving on to designated drunk drivers versus classy strippers. I had classy strippers winning this one. It was a pretty low scoring affair. Kind of disappointing in designated drunk drivers. I don't know why Tampa Bay drafted this kicker, and you should wonder the same exact damn thing. Can't believe you're still starting this clown. Let him go. It'll probably be good mojo for your team if you just let that guy go. Amir Abdullah is going to be an interesting fill, but you're working the waiver wire. Kind of a rough week for DDD. It should get better facing me this week, but we shall see. So Classic Strippers makes me 1-1. Moving on to Flawless Victory versus Des DM's Lead to Your Girlie's Bush. Stupid ass name. I picked Flawless Victory to win this. I didn't really give DMs a chance. But if you got Cam Newton dropping 40 burgers weekly, you're going to be in a lot of matches. I don't care who's on your squad. He needed it because, I mean, Flawless Victory scored 168 points. He needed every bit of that 175 to topple him. So you got AP out now. I mean, he just made a blockbuster trade to get AP. Now the only thing left is for Des Bryant to get hurt. I mean, that's all that's left. So we'll see if that trade was potential rape in hindsight. So I mean, we'll look at that for future reference. So technically, I'm 1 win, 2 losses on the week. Let's go to Don't Touch Me There. I need a win. Don't Touch Me There versus Back to the Bow. I picked Don't Touch Me There because Don't Touch Me There might have the best team in the league as long as Derek Carr and Amari Cooper are wrecking shop. You know, it's Matt Forte doing his damn dizzle. Until Le'Veon Bell comes back, D'Angelo Williams is fantasy gold right now. So, easy matchup for Don't Touch Me There against Bad to the Bone. Making me 2-2. Let's go to Chicago Chalupas and Bull City. Now, I had Chicago Chalupas winning this, but I thought it was going to be hands down a stomp. Well, if Antonio Brown only gets you 8.9 points and you're depending on that guy to get you at least 25, might be a little rough day. Eric Decker on the other side getting 26.9. That's 26.6. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough because the win goes to Chicago Chalupas. We have a crazy situation where 4 points is per yard for quarterbacks. And it came down to our quarterbacks of Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Just a few more yards from Aaron Rodgers gives Chicago Chalupas the victory. Last match of the week, Lazy Pugs versus Bolt Up Bitches. And I'm positive I picked up Bolt Up Bitches. Lazy Pugs, no way. No way he was winning this one. He's got guys. I mean, Danny Woodhead went on the IR. Doug Martin's out. This guy has just nothing but injuries riddling his team. Didn't get triple digits. So both that bitches coast into his second win of the season, making me 4-2 on the week. Last week I was 4-2. You know, maybe that's a thing. If I'd have just picked myself, I'd been 5-1. But I don't expect to win any of these first 3 games with Le'Veon Bell out. But if you do, what can you say? Now that we got the recap out of the way, let's see what the fantasy dud, stud, and who was the most improved, shall we? So let's get the dud out the way. I mean, let's clear the elephant out the room. We got Lazy Pugs, who is currently 0-2. Didn't get over, the century mark against Bolt Up Bitches. 0-2. There's a poll up who's out of the 0-2 teams who's most likely to go winless. The man is leading the charge in that aspect. I don't know. With these injuries, I don't see him coming back. And I don't know. This is going to be weird. This is going to be a weird situation. But, Lazy Pugs, for the week, you are the dud. So, I mean, and are you King Dud? Who had the lowest? Is that the lowest score we had? No. Stormers Brewing still has 94.4 points. You definitely didn't get the worst of the worst by scoring just 96. So, Fantasy Dud is Lazy Pugs. Fantasy Stud, oh man, can only go to one team, and that has to be Gurley's Bush. So, with Cam Newton leading the charge with a 40-burger, scoring 175 points, that man is the fantasy stud of the week, Aaron Hill. Good on you, kid. You beat Flawless Victory. Flawless Victory would have beat every other team in the league this week, but he had to face you. So, fantasy stud goes to Does DMs lead to your Gurley's Bush. Most improved has to go to none other than yours truly. I'm playing without my number 1 pick, Le'Veon Bell, and I'm still putting it in the ass of Storm is Brewing. Come on, buddy. Step your game up. You're 0-2. You're also on that poll. People don't have a lot of faith in you, Auto Draft King. You could have been real close to the dud for the second time because me playing with a handicap, you should have dominated me. Lazy Pugs not hitting the century mark kind of sent the scales into his favor. So we got our fantasy dud, we got our fantasy stud, and me most improved. Now, let's look at some things. I mean, this is pretty much the second chance, like the second time we've had a free agent frenzy, and it is early. Granted, there was a lot of injuries this week, but I don't expect people to be just destroying their free agent auction money because that shit doesn't replenish. It just doesn't. Now, maybe these guys will pan out, but most of the time, this early in the season, it doesn't. You might want to save that stuff for the playoffs, but if you fear you're not going to make the playoffs, by all means, spend your money. Spend away. So, let's look at the free agent auction bid that was processed on September 21st. Now, we've got designated drunk drivers who picked up Danny Trevathan and dropped Levante David, as I did. Guess he didn't pan out for you there, buddy. Then we had Don't touch me there trying to grab Quincy Enunwa for $4. Unsuccessful. He'd been added by another team that was willing to spend more money. So, the next transaction went to Dexter McCluster, added by Bad to the Bone for $4. That's reasonable. Bad to the Bone also picked up Jordan Howard because I guess he doesn't have a lot of faith in Langford. So, he dropped Jalen Richard, Oakland's running back, and Josh McCown, who's also dead to the Browns. So, next up, we have Matt Asiata. Lazy Pugs was like, maybe I can get this kid for $5. Jared McKinnon is the starter. Unsuccessful. Added to another team. Both the bitches went, you know what? Quincy Enunwa's not bad. I'll spend $6 on him. Unsuccessful. Already added to another team. Lazy Pugs was like, you know what? I need some Devontae Adams in my life. $6 is about right. Probably a little high on that, but he got Devontae Adams. Then we got a couple unsuccessful bids for Kenyon Drake, Fozzie Whitaker, Pugs, and Victory. Both went after him for $7. No dice. They didn't go. A storm is brewing, however, went $1 higher on Fozzie Whitaker and dropped Aaron Donald. Now Fozzie Whitaker is on his team. Storm is Brewing also decided to take on Kenyon Drake for $11. Could have spent $8 for both of those guys and got them, but he needed some more insurance as he thinks that Jay Ajayi won't be the guy to replace Arian Foster. Now, here's where the money starts to get a little funny. Designated Drunk Drivers spends a whopping $33 on these next two players. $12 for Matt Asiata and $21 for Quincy Enunwa. I can't believe this. This is some crazy shit because money is gonna get tight. I mean, there is week 3. It's early week 3, and we got guys that are below the $75 mark. Jeffrey White with $52, Brent Kessler with $61. Who am I to criticize the champion, the last year's champion? But that's a low number for your free agent auction bid. Flawless Victory still has 100. Hell, Classy Serper still has 100. Des DM's Girlies Bush, learning from last year, still has 100. This is gonna put you in a hole, especially when it comes down to free agent or bye-week fill-ins and things of that nature. It's early, fellas. Conserve your money. Do not go into a playoff game with no money in this free agent auction. It'll hurt you more than it'll help. I'm just giving you some words of advice. So let's move on, and I want to look at the standings real quick. The East is becoming a little more gridlocked since I won last week. There's no clear-cut leader over there, but it's still just week 3. In the West, we've got 2 1-1 teams, Flawless Victory and Does DM's Leak to Your Girlies Bush, giving Does DM's like the clear-cut number 1 because he actually beat Flawless Victory. The Central Division is probably going to be my most favorite division to watch. We got no team that is below 500, and we got 3 teams that are currently 2-0. Don't touch me there. Both the bitches and Chicago Chalupas, all 2-0. This may be the division where you get a champion and the wild card berth. Still early to tell, but I knew the Central Division was going to be full of competition as soon as we got the new divisions. So I just, it's going to lead into some really good matchups for week 3. So let's start off with my game of the week. Let's do it a little different. Game of the week. Sorry, the TV is kind of messing up my situation here with the camera, so forgive me. It's kind of droopy. Jesus. So put the 40-incher in the room The camera doesn't like. Fuck it. We're gonna leave it like that. You get to see my eyes, a little bit of my mouth, but that's about it. So game of the week. Let's get back to it. Sorry about the dropping of the camera. We'll get this fixed hopefully by next week. Now, game of the week. Holton Yards versus designated drunk drivers. Why is this a game of the week? Because it's potentially going to determine who's the number one in the East. Who is going to be top dog in the East? Who did I give this game to? I give it to designated drunk drivers. This is my last week without Le'Veon Bell. I expect to go 0-3. You motherfuckers are making a mistake getting me a win in these first 3 weeks. I drafted my team for the future. Between D-Hop and Le'Veon Bell being my keepers for next year, it's going to be nasty next season. Don't let me get in the playoffs this season. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, that's game of the week. Giving it the D. Now, we got Bolt Up Bitches versus Bad to the Bone. Bad to the Bone, he probably felt he got a little robbed, so he's going to be coming back for vengeance. Who did I pick for this one? I picked Bad to the Bone. I think AJ Green's going to have a big day. I think Marvin Jones is going to have a big day against Green Bay. I don't think that Marcus Mariota is going to do very well against Oakland. I think Khalil Mack's going to eat some Marcus Mariota, that Hawaiian barbecue in this bit. So Ezekiel Elliott, I do believe he'll have a good day against Chicago, but ultimately, overall, Bad to the Bone should win this game. Now we go to, does DMs lead to your girlie's bush versus Lazy Pugs? We got a guy that drafted extremely well going up against a guy that's suffering injury after injury after injury. Pug life, I just don't. You're going to have to do some magic here. You're going to have to hopefully outbid these guys $30-something for players. I don't recommend it. I think you did the wise thing by not overbidding for Enunwa or some of these tailbacks. You're fine. It's early. I don't think you'll win this game, but it's still early. So next we got Bull City versus a Storm. It's brewing. Jeez. Who did I have winning this? Bull City, who was robbed. Went 0-2 off a technicality, off a yard or two. Not going to happen. A Storm is brewing, also 0-2. We got an early toilet bowl right here, gentlemen. A Bull City. A Storm is brewing. But who's going to walk out of the toilet bowl fresh than a motherfucker? It'll be Bull City. Without a shadow of a doubt, Bull City will win this game. Next, we got another solid matchup in Chicago Chalupas and Flawless Victory. Flawless Victory is who I gave this matchup to. I just don't think that Chicago Chalupas, if he doesn't have a good day from Antonio Brown, it doesn't bode well. I don't know if the Texans defense is going to put up a 20 burger on the Patriots tonight, but it would help. I'm not gonna lie, it helped his cause. Right now, I've got Flawless Victory winning this one. It should be another close one for Flawless Victory, but he should get the win this time. Now, this is a really, really good matchup. It's a central battle between Classy Strippers and Don't Touch Me There. Don't Touch Me There has a chance to put some massive distance between him and Classy Strippers in this division. This is going to be mucho importante. I gave it to Don't Touch Me There simply because Derek Carr and Amari Cooper. Now, if you don't know, Classy Strippers is an avid Raiders fan. It's going to be hard for him to watch this game against Tennessee and be like, go Raiders, wait, no Raiders. Go Raiders, wait, no Raiders. So, if he wants to win this fantasy, it's going to be on the backs of Derek Carr and Amari Cooper. Not to mention, D'Angelo Williams has one more game against Philly. Can Philly go and stop D'Angelo Williams and make this a one-dimensional game? Yet to be seen. I've liked what I've seen from Philly, but it's still kind of suspect. Well, those are my picks, gentlemen. Like it or love it. I hope everyone is enjoying the season thus far. But I gotta say, I feel really good going 1-1. My Texans are 2-0. Wish I could have shared that joy, that gloriousness. But game time tonight kicks off. I'll be ready. I'm already kinda drinking, so it's a little early. Can't wait for the game tonight. I went to both games early on. I was felt a part of that 2-0 victory. We got the best fans in the country, so I hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Good luck this week, and may the fantasy gods prosper or forever be in your favor.